Why that song? Why did you specifically want it, do you think?
There's a rage and energy to it that, like, just, well, for me, like, I love the album, but that one particularly resonates with myself, and Adrian will be the same. It's really good to work with. Visually, it's like, for a music video, it's in 4 stages, and it just keeps getting harder, faster, and like, and it's such an authentic piece, as is all of Joy Division stuff. But there's a brilliant rage to it, and something that's innately political about it as well. You know, about rooms of power and we were always interested in that. Like, the time that Joy Division came about, which was a major kind of political change in Britain. You know, just pre-Thatcher, Reaganite like thing that followed, and there's much that music, punk, post-punk, like, all came from that kind of massive change that was happening. And Berlin is the kind of quintessential 20th century city of change. You know, it's witnessed the biggest events from world wars to collapse of the Iron Curtain, and it's seen political change all the time, you know. So we thought, okay, when Warren said he'd really like it to happen in Berlin, that there's a lot of symmetry between Manchester, Joy Division, punk, post-punk, like, big movements. So so we kind of like the political and shooting on the streets as well, and kind of capturing Berlin in the year 2019 with loads of defaced political posters and lack of faith in politics there even. So it just kind of felt right.
Yeah. This is a wonderful figure. He's a wonderful kind of character walking through this. How did that character develop? Because he's in a position of, he's exposed, but he's also driven. He's got rage, but he's the focus of all this attention. It's a very complex kind of role.
But we were interested definitely in producing some sort of narrative for the piece, even if it was just something as simple as, like, someone coming from a height down to, you know, the bear pit, as it's called in Berlin. And we wanted someone who was somewhat otherworldly, but also somehow constrained physically. But then there was also sort of, as we were developing this idea, then Feargal was playing with the camera that we were going to shoot it on, and he made some changes to the infrared filter on the
We shot it on an infrared camera.
Is that how you do it? Oh.
Yeah, so it picks up a different light spectrum, what we normally don't see with our own eyes, but it picks up anything to do with vegetation, and that's real and is alive, essentially. That's the spectrum that it picks up and really glows. So so we wanted to play with that, how ugly and weird the city can look like if you're actually just seeing the beauty of the nature or the arms of this character.
So it was that kind of formal aspect, or that technical aspect, that led us to the idea of giving the constraint would be then, you know, leaf arms, tree arms, let's say. And then as we were kind of playing with the camera just up in the studio and in daylight, we started realising that there was very interesting things happening with the eyes and the mouth, and it became quite cavernous. And then that led us to kind of other ideas. We were looking at this stage play that Samuel Beckett did called Not I, which is kind of a play about one person playing about trauma, which is just like faced on the mouth, and remarkable piece of theatre. So then that started coming in, ideas of that kind of trauma and that kind of mouth movement, that sharp mouth movement, started entering into certainly the direction that we were talking to the actor about. There's a Dutch dancer called Matt Woerter. So these kind of, when you start kind of moving between narrative and the technical elements, other ideas start coming in, you decide to bring them in or not. So that was one of the ideas that we brought in.
And people's reactions when you read them on the face, it's just fascinating, isn't it? What was it actually like when you were when he's in the bear pit, you called it?
Yeah, it's this kind of karaoke, outdoor karaoke in a kind of, that's Mauer Park, it's called the Wall Park. It used to be a death strip between East and West Berlin, so it used to be just armed and guard and barbed wired. Then it was turned into a park, and it's kind of a stone amphitheatre there that actually an Irish guy about 15 years ago started setting up karaoke on Sundays, so anybody can come to Berlin and get up in front of 1,000 people and perform. So yeah, we really liked the idea that our character would be coming from somewhere to arrive on this stage to not so much perform, but to deliver a message, which is this incredibly powerful song. So that track was playing to a quite bemused and stunned 1,000 people who were waiting to hear Britney Spears covers. And yeah, so we wanted it to culminate there, that this, this one central character would come to try and deliver this message.